Hi, everybody. I'm Reverend John David Duke Jr. If you don't know me, pastor of Concordia Lutheran Church, Newfane, New York, and St. John Lutheran Church in Youngstown, New York. This is kind of an outline of the options you might want to consider for your Christmas Eve worship. I want to encourage you, especially if you cannot come, to do something that's worshipful at home. Yeah, I know it's a very, very strange year this way. We have never had to do this. It's been over 100 years since the last time things were shut down like this. So we're trying to make, with the help of a lot of people, we're trying to make Christmas Eve as special as we can, considering the limitations we have. So you could come to church if you so desire. If you do, please give us a heads up one way or another so that we know who all is coming. And it's very important for us to know who, especially if you're bringing people who don't normally come to church. That way we can make proper accommodation. We're not doing reservations. We don't think we need to, but we would like to know how to accommodate you, right? We want to maintain social distancing, in other words. If you do come to church, here's what you can expect. Some singing, limited to short songs, and also always with your masks on, please. But not very much singing. At Concordia, we'll have the organist play through some of the songs while we meditate on the verses. And at St. John, we do have some soloists lined up to sing some of those hymns. There will be a focus, of course, on the Word of God and the significance of the birth of Jesus, and, of course, his larger significance that he reigns in heaven above and is coming again, not as a baby, but as a judge. That's what this is all about, right? As one of us, that's a theology lesson for later. At either church, both churches, at the end, weather permitting, we will proceed out. At Concordia, we will go to the Remembrance Garden, and at St. John, we will go to the nativity scene, and there we will sing, accompanied by me on the guitar, Silent Night. There will be provided some candle lanterns, paper lanterns, the sort, and we hope that it is something special, even though it's different, and even though it is restricted in that certain way, but also memorable, that we still get to maintain our tradition of singing that song to conclude our worship of Jesus, but also to do something that's rather, like I said, memorable, right? Something that's good for us, and we can talk about. Remember the year when we gathered round, right? And we still did this. So that's the worship service at churches, right? If you would like to do that. Times Concordia is at 5 and St. John is at 7 p.m., right? And the service will be less than an hour, right about an hour. Now, if you don't want to come to church, and obviously perfectly understandable, encourage you not to if you don't want to, you should consider one of these two things. Perhaps you want to tune into the YouTube presentation that I'll do, understanding that it won't be like the church service, and it won't be like the home devotion, which I'll explain in a minute. The YouTube service will be for home. I want to bring it down a notch, and I encourage you, if you want a full-blown church service, to look one up on the internet, and I'll try to do it myself. There are all sorts of churches with tons of resources that will do a far better job than I will. And also you have the opportunity to watch years past some great cathedral somewhere doing a wonderful presentation of the nativity and the readings and a sermon and the music and so on and so forth. As for me, I'm going to do something that's brought down a level for something at home that'll fit in your living room. So it'll be a little different that way. And that'll also be less than an hour long. Also, if you would like to do something without the aid of video, you could actually ask me, and I will provide for you, or ask the secretary at St. John, and it'll be provided for you, a home devotion that can be led by anyone, really. The head of the household is preferable, of course. And let me show it to you real quick. It's Christmas Eve at home, and the idea is that use it at home. And there's a I have a concern that our church is dying because we just refuse to do church at home. Worship, not just personal prayer, but worship at home. History has proven that if worship is done at home, the church does just fine, no matter what. But if worship at home ceases, then it doesn't matter how many church services you put together at church. It's not going to survive into the generations, and it will go the way of a lot of places on earth, right? So here's a service for you. You want to light some candles, and there's some call and response to the people who are gathered around, your children, your grandchildren, anybody who's with you, your significant others, a little bit in the way of the psalmody. And then I've suggested some songs. You might want to go through this and pick songs you like better. And you can sing them, or you don't have to sing them, or you can have someone play them for you on the piano or any other instrument. Or maybe you want to set up a CD player or thumb drive to play the things you want. Or maybe you use YouTube and have a playlist set up to play these songs in order in between the readings, interleaved with the readings, so you can make some connections here. And then, you kind of see, here's the songs I have for you, and a little prayer, and then you're done, and you have had a lovely Christmas Eve service or Christmas Day. You can do this one for your family or for yourself. I encourage you to consider doing that, regardless of what you end up doing on Christmas Eve. Just have this so that you can do it, right? So that's all. If you have any questions, leave a note or call somebody and complain to them, and I'll be glad to hear you out and maybe make some suggestions that are pertinent or make it better. Always open to ideas. This video is, let's see, this is 12/16. I believe that's Wednesday before Christmas. So you have a few days to kind of collar me and maybe get some more stuff added in or some corrections made. Until then, hey, I hope you're enjoying your Advent preparation as you make straight his paths, and also Christmas celebration preparations as we make the cheese and the ham and the presents ready, right? And I hope your tree is shining brightly.